Hey guys, what's up? Samurai Bird. Um, as you can see, I have my Bohihyu from Halloween. I would like to give some updates on this and rant a little bit about it, if you don't mind. Since you're here anyway, you might as well listen to my crap. Alright, so if you watch the other video, I was having a lot of trouble cutting newspaper. I hadn't sharpened it yet. I hadn't put it on the work sharp yet. So at that point, but I have since then, and I'm gonna show that first. First things first. This is what I'm gonna do first. Show you that the blade really works and can get really almost Hussein sharp. Almost, I'd say. It's getting there. I'll have to stand up to do this here. Let me turn that a little bit. All right, let me make sure it's in frame. As you can see, that's right at the, as I hope you can see, that's right at the cutting, right where you want to be cutting at on the blade. You see, I had no problems there. Here, I'll do it again. Just because I like doing it. As you can see, very sharp. And man, maybe I should have did this last. I got shreds of paper everywhere. My cigarette's gonna catch it on fire. All right, so you seen that? Yep, I think that was pretty decent. That's really thin newspaper. It was a lot easier to cut that time than the last time when it came out of the box. And I don't want to say it ain't sharp out of the box because it did cut regular typing paper. It cut it pretty good. So, I knew it wouldn't have no problem going through a pumpkin or water bottles. Water bottles, I've been having fun all day with that, man. I've been wanting to do that curly Q bottle again. I've been trying. I just can't get it. I can't do it. No matter how well my telepathy's working, nothing. so you've seen that. So, and by putting it on the work sharp, I would have to say that really had the characteristics of 1095. Using the Ken Onion Edition work sharp on it, it really it was a little stubborn to get an edge on it. So that, that means it's, if anything, that means the differentially hardened it works. That means the homo's strong. It holds a good edge. I think. I hope. Am I right? Am I right? Or am I right? Am I right? So anyway, I did a video when I lacquered the Ito, the handle. I guess this is silk Sageo is what this is. Is what it's labeled as. But, Sageo, Ito, I'll put anything on whatever to make it look cool, and it does look cool. I didn't put this on here, but it looks cool. The gold, I love the gold and the black. That's really cool. Oh, I realized why I was attracted to this sword. And you see, that's the Suba. Well, guess what? I was looking through my box of parts. Yeah, let's see if I can get the right. Is that the right angle? Okay. It should be that. Or is it like that? There we go. Look at that. I think that's pretty much the same thing. I think this one looks better. Has a better patina, I guess, or fake patina, whatever. But that gives me an idea. I have this Wakizashi that's a really good blade, but the hardware on it sucks. And what I'm going to do is match these up and make a Daido. Is that what's it called when you have the whole three set, the Katana, Wakizashi, and Tanto? I don't know. I know there's a word for it. I want to say that's it, but I could be wrong. Um, but let me stretch that out. So I think that'd be pretty cool. So I will have to remount it. But there again, now that brings me back to what I started talking about, is lacquering the Ito with the brush. And I did this inside strip. I did that with the brush, and I mean, these were really loose, man. Don't get me wrong. The knot was all right, but these were really movable. Now they're not. But it darkened that up right there. So I went ahead and masked off the fittings, and I taped it, and I went out in the garage and sprayed it with some high gloss lacquer to make sure that the color matched. It's still a little off, if you can see. It's almost darker here. You see that line? I mean, the lines from that panel of fake ray skin for one thing, but I think there's a different color scheme going on there because that's just a light coat. I said I think that water base kind of darkened it, and then I sprayed the lacquer on it. Didn't really do anything, so maybe that's what I should have done first. But then again, I only tried it on black Ito. I never tried it on color. That's why I was saying this was kind of an experiment for me. So I don't know if I would suggest doing that. It almost seemed like spraying it is a better way if you have, especially if you have a colored Ito. Yeah, I mean, if you don't care about that, I would go with the water base, because the water base soaks in and it feels different than just spraying the top of it with lacquer. Neither one of them are bad, I don't think. I mean, I still feel the silk Sageo, so but it's also sealed. It's also protected. Like especially from water. I mean, that's pretty cool. And like with the Semigawa being fake, the ray skin being fake, that doesn't bother me to spray it. I wouldn't spray real stuff, and especially if it's wrapped, you wouldn't need to spray it if the handle's fully wrapped. Believe you me, you can put it on loose, and a fully wrapped handle with Semigawa will keep it tight, just because it's got that grip to it. That underneath there is just wood. You'd be lucky if they glue a spot here and there every once in a while, but you're lucky if they do that. This one probably wasn't, because I could move it on the sides too, but it's nice and stable now. It ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm hip to the use of double negatives. I can't help it. I'm seeking therapy about it. There's a double negative doctor in town. So, I completely lost my train of thought there. Ito. So, yeah, I mean, Carl Rudger, subscribe to him, and Joe Steel Forge of Fire, subscribe to him. They both said the same thing, that they've had a couple swords that they sprayed. I hope it wasn't Joe's leather one. I don't think he would spray the leather. I hope not. But even he said that I think Joe said he sprayed the fittings too. Which, I mean, I ain't got a problem with that. It protects him, man. I mean, I would recommend that. Just because I didn't do it, don't mean you can't. Or don't even listen to me. just turn this on, press the like button, and subscribe, and just mute it and go watch something else until I'm over. That's all you gotta do. No, really. Thanks for watching. But I'm not done yet. So yeah, where was I? There we go. Train of thought done left the station now. So I did that. I sprayed the Ito. It's nice and solid. They ain't going nowhere. The fittings don't seem to be moving. I used it a lot today. Tsuba's still cool. The handguard's still cool. Koshira, or the Fuchi, Koshira, I don't know, I guess they glued them because they ain't moving. I did the Gorilla Glue in the wood, in the sawdust. I don't think the sawdust really mattered. Didn't make a difference whether that was in there or not. But the Gorilla Glue, it took some to newspaper all over the place. It took some to file it down to get it to fit in there, and which that's it. I'd rather have to file it down a lot than have to do it again and wait another day for the glue to dry and all that. But I got it to fit really good and really snug. And the cool thing that for this problem, I used to use super glue, and I would super glue small pieces like bamboo you know, a little sliver of it, and just, let me show you. And I would super glue it and put it right there. And it seemed like it would just, the super glue didn't adhere to it, and it would fall out eventually, and, you know, in like a month or two, and it would fall out. So I wasn't really sure. I don't know, like an idiot, I just kept on doing that. So I like Joe's thing with the Gorilla Glue. And Ogura Steve, subscribe to him, he did a video too with Gorilla Glue, and I had already did mine. Sorry, Steve. I wasn't trying to step on your toes or anything. You know, he did it, and it worked fine for him. And he even fixed that crack. That was a good job, by the way. I forgot to mention that, Steve. Good job fixing that crack, because I seen that video too. Anyway, so I did that, filed it down, got it to fit snug, and then very little, if any. I mean, I really gotta rattle it to get it to rattle down here. So I might do a little bit of Vaseline cotton ball. I really don't need to. I mean, I was shocked that the Gorilla Glue really snugged it up, man. Better than what I was using. The super glue and a sliver of wood. It worked, but it didn't last long at all. So that was the problem for me. Like I said, like a dumbass, I just kept doing it. And then Joe came out of his video. I'm like, I'm gonna try that Gorilla Glue. I didn't know it expanded like that. So that does make a big difference, man. That is cool, because I didn't put that much in there, and I had to file for like an hour. Like, grief, man. But you know, it was cool. I'm exaggerating. It eventually fit, and no problem. I know, Eric, you're saying it's the same problem. I keep talking, my cigarette goes out. There's some fire retardant crap they put in here. It's gonna give us cancer. All right. Okay. Been a long day, man. So yeah. So you see me cut the paper. I did awesome on that. I don't know if it's Hussein worthy or not. I don't know. Man, he can sliver that stuff so thin when he does that. Anyway. So the Ito don't move. I didn't have to mess with any of the fittings, and they're still solid. The habaki was loose, and the Hasaya was loose to the habaki. The habaki didn't fit well. It fell right out. That doesn't happen. It had a really bad side rattle. If you listen to the other video, if you watch the other video and listen to when I shake it, I mean, sounds like a big truck just drove by. I mean, that's cool, man. That alleviates the whole Vaseline and cotton ball thing. But I mean, it doesn't always happen like that. So, but it is cool that it did on this, and I imagine the Gorilla. What I'm saying is the Gorilla Glue worked better than what I was doing with the super glue in the wood. This seems way better. So, way more better. So I was just doing that. Now, as far as this katana is concerned, like I said, sharpening it, I do believe it is $10.95. I really don't see how at $120. I have no idea how. Fake Sumagawa, it is a little, and I think that was the problem with what, I mean, it's all, the handle is kind of cockeyed, so when you look at it straight, or maybe something's cocked on here, it's either the handle's kind of a little off, and it seems centered, I guess. I don't know, so maybe the wood, it's twisting a little bit or something. I mean, you know, it's $120. But I think that was thrown because I was trying to hold the handle straight and looking at the blade, and the blade was kind of weird. I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. Let me straighten the blade and then look what the handle's doing. And it was kind of, so, you know, I haven't taken this apart yet, and I will. I'm going to go, Eric Hussein, subscribe to him. He suggested I get a laser level, which is a damn fine idea. I'm going to do that, and this will not be the only sword I will check. So, you know, I'm sure it's not perfect. It may even have a little add to it. $120, man. Just step on it, bend it back. I mean, $10.95 is pretty. It can move around a little bit. You know, it's not going to bounce back in place like spring steel. I need to get a spring steel sword, and just because I don't have one, and I'd really like to try one. The only thing I don't like about them, and I've heard that's changed, I think they're able to differentially harden them now, the spring steel. So or maybe they always could and just charged a lot, or I don't know. I'm hearing it's more common now that they figured out a way to do it, and it's real easy. So I'd like to get one because that was what was deterring me before, is I didn't have a Hamon. It wasn't, and I like a good Hamon, man, and I like that differentially hardened too. Just makes sense, and so, but there goes the train of thought again. But as far as that sword for $120, okay, now you see what was wrong with it. I mean, the sai rattled. The hibaki was loose. The ito was loose. The knot was okay. I mean, I could have done an even easier fix by finding the second knot. The first knot being the one that they tie first, and they go to the other side would be the last knot they tie. That, if I can show you, this little, that one right there, all that does is just tuck under there. So, and I've done this before, just shoot some super glue, but I'm not going to use super glue anymore. I'm going Gorilla Glue, man. Super glue's, I don't care if it could suspend this man in thin air on a hard hat. I guarantee he fell down a week later because super glue doesn't last. So shoot some Gorilla Glue in there and just stuff that back in there. And that knot won't come undone. I mean, if it does, do it again. No harm, no foul. And you keep that, not that spraying it ruined the texture or anything of the handle. I mean, it still feels awesome. I have no problem with it. Actually, it feels better than the ones that I soaked down with the brush, and put like 10 coats on. I mean, that does feel like plastic. This doesn't. And I can still kind of move it. I mean, not really. It's on there good, man. I mean, look, I'm trying to, it's maybe got some, I can barely move it. I can kind of wiggle it. I can't move the sides of it. So, I mean, it's on there. It ain't coming off, man. It's on there good. It kind of darkened it up, ruined the color. Look. This is what it looked like. This is the actually Sageo, the silk Sageo wrap, which is actually this wrap. This that goes onto your obi belt and keeps your sword from getting taken from you. Yeah, this was the original color. So you can kind of see, yeah. And it kind of took away it's glossy still because I sprayed the high gloss on it, but it took away the sparkle. So, now I don't think I'm going to be able to go to a disco anymore with my swords. I thought I would be able to. There was a samurai disco happening in St. Louis this weekend. I was going to go. Okay, so, so it darkened it up a little bit, spraying it. Actually, brushing it darkened it up more than spraying it. Like I said, I should have just sprayed it to begin with. But whatever. Learn from my mistakes, okay? Then I won't feel so bad. So with that being said, a couple hundred times, if you can fix what I did, if you can fix the same things I fixed, this is a hell of a sword. I don't think you can. I don't think there's any other 1095 that cheap, man. $120. If it ain't somebody I've heard of, I wouldn't trust them. Because like I said, even getting this from Bohihyu, I was a little leery, man, because I just never heard of good 1095 high carbon steel for $120, man. It's just, I don't know. Unless I'm wrong, let me know. I mean, maybe Shenzhen. I mean, there might be some Amazon people that might. I don't think I would trust that. I mean, yeah, I ran across Bohihyu through Amazon, but I examined everybody, to get to that point, to find out that these guys at least had, sounded like they had what they had, and I got it, and it was. So, and I ran with it. Yeah, I could recommend a sword. I would recommend a sword. I think I just did. You got 120 bucks, man, and you can fix it. That's the big thing here. That's why I'm on the fence about this sword. That's why I keep talking about it, because you got to be able to fix that. If you can't, then the Ito's going to fall apart on you. You know, there's a chance your sword will fall out and cut you. There's a few major things wrong with this sword that are usually on every $120 sword. You know, it's not uncommon in side rattle. It's very common. It's not uncommon for your habaki and your Koraguchi to be fit just right. You know, the mouth of the sai and the collar on the sword to hold your sword. I mean, look at it now. Oh, there goes my microphone. Hold on. Technical difficulties. It ain't coming out, man. It didn't even budge. It ain't coming out. Actually, it's a little tough to knock out. No, it's kind of smooth. It's a little tough, but I like that. I don't mind that. You know. And I do want to mention, if you watch the other video, and I'm on there, and I took the screwdriver, was messing around with the sawdust and everything in there, and I was like, I'm okay. I'm making a mess. I got to stop. Well, I did make a mess. I got it on the side. And I had to file that down because I got it to fit good. And then I realized when I was drawing my sword out, it was hanging up. And it was sticking to the side of I had a glob of Gorilla Glue on the side, and it just kept hanging up on it. So I had to get rid of that. So if you do that, just keep it. I don't want to say don't put it on the sides. That's not it. It was just a little spot that I had right there, and it wasn't anywhere else, you know, and it was sliding really good against the wood. I don't know. It was just a bad spot for that to be, and it kept hanging up on it, or maybe there was just too much, and the blade was hanging up. I don't know, but I fixed it. I just filed on it a little more on the sides, and it was fine. That's all I'm saying. It's just, you know, file. Like I said, it worked great. I mean, it even fixed the rattle, so that's really cool. Yeah, go out and buy one. For those of you who were looking at Bohihyu and have not talked to me first, I wish you would, because there are Bohihyu swords that I would not recommend. I mean, this one here, this T10, they say T10. I expect it to be like the T10 I paid $238 for, but you know, I knew it couldn't have been because that was only $157. So like I said, those things were the same thing. T10 burning blade, what they called it. But it's not the same thing, because the one bent with bamboo and the other one's fine. The other one's a heavy cutter. It can last it. But it was $238. The one that doesn't cut bamboo is $157. This one was $120. It'll cut bamboo without a problem. So, you know, before you get a Bohihyu, man, email me, contact me on here, do something, because I don't want you to get a bad one, you know. I mean, Bohihyu's not perfect. I said this before. This is not my favorite company. I like how they sell all the parts to the swords, and you can build them, and that's really cool. And they do have swords I would recommend for sure, but they do have one that I know of that I won't, you know. So I got it. So, you know, and I know what it was labeled, and I know how they word their stuff. I've looked at their website, and I've investigated their descriptions enough to know what they mean when they say what they do, because it really doesn't make sense when you read it. You're like, okay, Damascus 1095 high carbon steel folded. Well, it's not folded. They might have some bare blades that are folded, but the ones I got ain't. I mean, I don't see no folds in them, and I didn't expect it. I don't want it to be. Folding means nothing to me, because steel's so much better nowadays. So, you know, unless I want the blade to look really pretty, there's no real reason to fold it. So, you know, like I said, some of the stuff and how they describe their steel is kind of iffy, but I know what they're talking about because I've looked at it enough. So please contact me, run it by me first, please, before you get one, because I'm not saying this is the world's best company. You know, it's just a really good one, or it can be. It has possibilities. They definitely have possibilities, man. And they really talk to me about stuff. You know, I've got a good rapport with them, or getting one. So, you know, just ask me. And I think that's about it. because the wife just came in and I'm sure she wants to go to sleep. So
Yes, I do.
that was the wife. You gotta say hi, Karen. Say hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
See, she's funny too.
Oh,
With special guest star, my wife, who hates katanas and hates that I have them, and but she doesn't hate them. She hasn't cut with them. That's the problem. She's scared to because she knows she'll like it when she does. So, anyway, that's a whole nother video. All right, so I think I covered that. So yes, I would recommend that as long as you can fix on this sword what I fixed, the same stuff. I mean, if you have no problem doing those home remedies, then yes, this sword is worth it. The blades is $10.95, $120, man. I paid $120 for their bare blades. So, ask me before you go shopping with them, or shop with them, and then, I don't know, just talk to me. All right, because I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Bohihyu. So, cool, and yeah, go out and run out and get one of these, and I think that's it. I think that's all I got. So, hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.